If you've been teaching ESL online for a while, you've probably noticed something. Prices are all over the place. Some parents are willing to pay $30 an hour, while others won't even consider $10. And if you're wondering why, well, it's not just about what parents want to pay, it's about what they can pay. China's economy is shifting, and different regions are feeling it in very different ways. So let's break it down. Why are online ESL prices changing? And what does it mean for teachers?
It's a rough road to recovery for China's economy. New data shows people are not spending enough money, the real estate crisis is unresolved, and investments into the country are drying up. This is happening as China is struggling to return to its booming pre-pandemic growth numbers. The country is looking at years of a sluggish economy ahead.
Back in the early 2010s, ESL teaching in China was mostly happening in classrooms. Big, busy private training centers, full of kids practicing their phonics. Parents who wanted their kids to learn English were willing to pay a premium. In major cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen, parents paid 200 to 500 RMB, which is $28 to $70 per hour for in-person private tutoring. In Tier 3 cities, private tutoring was cheaper, averaging 150 to 300 RMB, which is about $21 to $42 per hour. Meanwhile, online ESL platforms like VIP Kid and 51 Talk were starting to grow. Parents saw them as a budget-friendly alternative, but online learning wasn't mainstream yet. At that time, parents in Tier 1 cities were paying around 120 to 180 RMB per class, which is about 17 to 25 US dollars. In Tier 3 cities, the rates were even lower, usually around 80 to 150 RMB per class, or $11 to $21.
China has identified the cause of the
mysterious new virus.
Coronavirus.
There are fears a rapidly spreading virus has reached Australia.
Then 2020 happened. Schools shut down, and suddenly online ESL wasn't just an option, it was the option. Parents were still willing to spend, and online rates stayed strong. Many teachers were making more than ever before. During the online boom, one-on-one ESL classes in Tier 1 cities like Shenzhen and Guangzhou cost anywhere from 150 to 300 RMB per session. That's about 21 to 42 US dollars. Even in Tier 3 cities, parents were paying between 100 and 200 RMB per class, or around $14 to $28. But then, the boom ended just as fast as it started.
双减 or double reduction. This is a recent policy to address involution in education.
In 2021, China's government dropped a bombshell. The double reduction policy banned private tutoring for core subjects, and overnight, major ESL companies either shut down or found loopholes to keep going. Parents had fewer legal options, and thousands of teachers lost their jobs. Some parents still sought private lessons through WeChat and smaller agencies, but prices started slipping. Instead of making 150 to 300 RMB per class, teachers were now being offered as little as 80 to 150 RMB. That's about 11 to 21 US dollars. In Tier 3 cities, the rates dropped even lower, often ranging from 60 to 100 RMB per class, or just $8 to $14. By 2023, things had stabilized a little. Parents who still wanted ESL classes were hiring teachers privately, but the rates were nowhere near what they had been before. And then came 2024. If you've been following the news, you know that China's economy is struggling. The real estate market, once the backbone of the economy, started collapsing. Youth unemployment hit record highs, so bad that the government literally stopped reporting the numbers. And wages? They haven't kept up with inflation. For context, the average middle-class salary in a Tier 3 city is around 4,000 to 8,000 RMB per month. That's between 560 to 1,100 US dollars. So if a family wants to book 4 ESL lessons a week at 300 RMB per class, that's over 4,000 RMB per month, almost their entire income. Most simply can't afford it anymore. So what happens? Parents cut back. They switch to cheaper classes, reduce lessons, or stop altogether. And as demand shrinks, teachers are forced to lower their rates to stay competitive. So what does this mean for us, the teachers? Well, it's time to face some hard truths. China isn't the cash cow it used to be. The golden days of high-paying ESL gigs in China are fading. The market is saturated, and parents' ability to pay those premium rates has declined. So what's the solution? Diversify. Look beyond China. Countries with growing economies and a strong demand for English, like Vietnam, Japan, or even parts of Europe, might offer better opportunities now. The ESL industry has changed, and it will keep changing. But one thing is certain. Teachers who adapt, explore new markets, and stay ahead of the trends will always find opportunities. Whether you're staying in China or looking elsewhere, we hope you find success on your journey. This video was created to educate and spread awareness within the ESL community. The industry is changing, and while there will always be those trying to take advantage, we must also be realistic and adaptable. Let's support each other, stay informed, and navigate these shifts together. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. We truly appreciate everyone who supports the channel. Keep it locked to Eureka ESL.